welcome back to my channel for a review on a figure that I've been waiting so long to get my hands on, and that is the Iron Man Mark 46 die-cast figure. Now this one has been sold out for the longest time, and I'm not sure if that's because there were limited pre-orders or they just sold out so quickly and everyone is just hanging on to them, but these are incredibly hard to find, and even if you do find one, they sell for an insane amount of money. But thank goodness for the Pop Culture warehouse sale, I managed to pick this one up with the only defect being 2 loose fingers, and I'm so thankful to the guys at Pop Culture for having these. They had a bunch of these actually at the warehouse, and I managed to pick one up for myself. So without further ado, let's get all the accessories laid out here and take a look at everything he comes with. So taking a look at all the accessories he comes with, you see he comes with pretty much all the same interchangeable parts as the Mark 47 that I obviously have reviewed on my channel. So some of these were pretty familiar, although some of the new pieces are obviously these battle damage parts, or I should just say battle damage part, because he only does come with one, and that's the part that was actually never revealed in the pre-orders or anything like that. I guess they didn't want to spoil anything in the movie, or I guess they just wanted it to be a bit of a surprise, but it's this battle damage chest piece, which you can see has a slot for Captain America's shield. Now this is sort of how it compares to the original one. You can see that it's a lot less glossy, and obviously the battle damage is on there as well. He does come with these interchangeable magnetic pieces, which are the same as the Mark 47, so the missile there, and also the missile pod accessories here as well. And you can see that there's a nice level of wear painted onto these, as they always tend to do. Now I do have the Tony Stark head sculpt displayed on the figure, and I will show you that when I get the figure out here, but I thought I'd show you the helmet sculpt as well, and it's pretty much identical to that of the Mark 47. It's even pretty much the same color, so there's no real differences there at all. Now, the other piece that he comes with is the Captain America helmet. Now, this is an exact copy of the one that comes with the Age of Ultron cap, which is this one on the right. So you can see it is pretty much identical through and through, same piece. Even the chin strap is the lighter chin strap, whereas the actual cap has the darker one from Civil War. So I'm not sure if they got the color palette wrong for the helmet, but that chin strap is not accurate to the figure at all, and he also does come with his hands. Now, the interesting part about these hands is the light obviously does pass through, and the slot on the back of the hand does have a little bleed-through area where you do get that arc reactor sort of look. Now, he does come with these same sort of blast effect hands that he did have on the Mark 47, and they can just slot in as well, which looks pretty cool if I do say so. He does come with ones for the feet as well, but I just didn't bring those out because they aren't all that interesting, to be honest with you. He also does come with the tried and true display base, pretty much that you've seen with a ton of Hot Toys releases by now. The evil version of Superman, Optimus Prime, he's come with one. The Thor light armored version, he has come with this as well. So this is a multiple reuse display base, but either way, it's still a nice piece to have. So those are all the accessories. Without further ado, let's get the figure out here and take a look at the head sculpt. Now, taking a look at the Robert Downey Jr. portrait that you can see on the figure, you can already tell that it is pretty much identical to the one that comes on the Mark 47, and that is not a bad thing at all. This is 100% the best Tony Stark likeness that we have ever gotten, or at least gotten thus far, with an Iron Man figure. Obviously, the Mark 50 will be coming out later in the year, or probably early next year, I should say, and that will obviously have a probably improved portrait compared to this one, but this is still an amazingly done portrait. You can see he's even got that black eye under there from when he was battling with Cap, which is just terrific. Now, the collar piece does slot on there as well, and when you do replace the head with the Iron Man head, it just comes off like so, and you can slot on the Iron Man helmet, which has a complete neck already attached as part of it. There we go. And you can see that still looks really, really awesome, even with the Iron Man head displayed on there as well. So, terrific look through and through with either of the head sculpts, no matter which way you choose to go. Now, swapping out the missile pods couldn't be any easier. You literally just pull that part out and pop the new one on, which is magnetically attached. Should put it the right way at least. And you can see there that it just adheres magnetically to the figure, which is really awesome. He does have the exact same flaps on the back, which are a little bit hard to access unless you've got really long fingernails. So you can see that he does have those flaps on the back that operate just like normal Iron Man figures, which is really, really awesome. Now, this figure has a ton of light up features. If you want to see pictures of that, check out my Instagram. I have taken a few photos of this guy, and I did put the batteries in to give you a look at the lights. I've since taken them out just because I don't want to let them corrode inside the figure. Now I'll zoom down a little bit and I'll give you a look at the rest of the outfit. So taking a look at the rest of the armor, you can see that it's a really nicely painted piece. He's got a lot of weathering, a lot of wear and tear, which just looks like a really awesome lived-in suit. Now the damaged part from the pop culture sale was literally this loose finger and this loose finger. So you can see they're a bit floppy, and obviously it comes with a ton of hands, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Now if you want to swap out the forearm piece for the missile section, so you can basically have him displayed with the rocket, you literally just wedge your nail, or probably better would be one of the prying tools that he does come with. I just don't have one on hand, and you can just slot in the missile section on his forearm, which is pretty awesome, I do say. But I usually have him just displayed with the normal armor, just like so. And the chest section does expand, much like some of the other Iron Man figures, to give you a greater range of movement. It is a little bit tricky to do, but once you do it, you hear the click, and then he gets a greater range of movement, just like so. So definitely an improvement over some of the older figures like the Mark 45, and this one just looks really, really terrific. And you can see those light up sections carrying on throughout as well. So taking a look at his legs, you can see that they've continued the awesome detailing. I really love this sort of venting work on these sides of the legs. I don't know why that caught my eye, but it just looks really, really awesome. Now it does have that really annoying piece of design work that I'm not sure why Hot Toys did. I guess they wanted to keep these out of the way, but when you have the feet at sort of a normal distance, you can't sort of really slot that in and close off that gap. They have to be sort of facing up a little bit for that to be able to slot in properly. Normally they just sort of stick out and don't go back in, which is kind of annoying to look at, but I guess it's at the back, so you don't really have to worry about that. But you can see that they've improved the detailing or the design of the feet, at least Marvel did. The Mark 45 had really pointy sort of shoes, and that looked a bit funky. I think these look just a little bit better than the Mark 45 did, so I'm pretty glad that they actually went ahead and improved that. But he doesn't have any opening bits, as far as I can tell, on the back of the calves. They're all die-cast. In fact, most of the leg is actually die-cast, so they did a really, really good job of making this guy feel really substantial. So having these two together in the collection is just absolutely awesome. And, of course, having these two, I had to go ahead and try at least to complete the rest of the Civil War line. In fact, as it stands today, I'm only one figure short, and that's Hawkeye. I really need to get my hand on that Hawkeye, but he's super easy to find. I can even go to my local Zing and pick up that Hawkeye figure. The Black Widow was pretty hard to find, and so was a War Machine, but I managed to pick those two up, luckily, off some local collectors. So if you guys are obviously looking for these figures still, I suggest checking out your local Facebook groups, buy and sell groups. They are the best places to find these, because collectors, they always switching out the figures, rotating the collection, and you never know when you might get lucky and find someone who wants to sell you one of these guys for a fair and reasonable price. But either way, this is the height comparison. You can see that Iron Man just a little bit taller than Cap, and I think that's pretty accurate from what I remember from the film. Just wrapping up on this Hot Toys Iron Man Mark 46 die-cast figure. Now I can see 110% why the hype is so real for a lot of collectors with this figure. This is by far the best in terms of engineering, and some would say design as well, Iron Man figure that Hot Toys has ever made. The amount of die-cast, the quality, the paintwork, the accessories, everything that's thrown into this guy, including the iconic design on Marvel's part, is just absolutely amazing. And not to mention the hundreds, or I should say there's 40-something lights that have been thrown into this figure as well. It's just a really, really well done piece from a company at its prime. I do say that Hot Toys can probably only go up from here, because their quality just keeps getting better and better with each and every die-cast release. That Mark V recently really just blew me away and gets me more and more excited for the eventual release of the Mark II, the Mark IV, and also the Mark 50. Now guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.